So it's imperative to know that some people think that their team is lucky because it has a part, the nickname has a part, is a part of you. For some people think, oh, well, the Buffalo Bills are my favorite team because my name is Bill. Or, or some say that, San Diego Padre because I like the Padres because I am a dad. So I'm a Padre, I'm a father. But what if I told you there was a baseball team that I should be really cheering for because it has part of my name in it and not the Toronto Blue Jays where I'm based in? Well, this team, in their second year of existence, went to the playoffs, shocked a lot of people by making the playoffs in the first place, and could have shocked the world by going to the NLCS if they had taken over those pesky New York Mets. But they didn't. So here's the story of the second year team called the Arizona Diamondbacks. You've got Jeff Diamond, you've got one man, you've got a hat, a bat, and that's definitely not all. You got the bleachers, got it from spring to fall, you got a dog, a drink, and that umpire's call. What do you want? Let's play what if. Okay. Okay, Cutter, do some what ifs. Okay, Cutter, do some what ifs. So the Arizona Diamondbacks were born out of the necessity because the National League decided to, well, the National League and the American League decided to put a team in each league for expansion to expand to 30 teams once and for all. The last expansion of baseball of any league. Hockey's had a couple of expansions in the 2010s. Basketball expanded in 2004 with the Bobcats, and the NFL expanded in 2002 with the Texans. So baseball's gone through the longest without an expansion. A lot of people say there should be 32 teams in baseball, but where do you put the two extra teams? Well, you could say Oakland and Montreal because they both lost teams. But Oakland Stadium is terrible despite it being baseball already. And Montreal is redoing Stade Olympique. So Arizona was home to many major league teams in the Cactus League or spring training. They would spring train in Arizona. So logically, they decided to put a team in Arizona and a team in Florida for the Grapefruit League, that being Tampa. Unfortunately, they learned that they didn't want 15 teams in each league because that meant an interleague matchup every time. An interleague was just starting in 1997. So, in the graciousness, they decided to move a team from the AL to the NL, and that team was the Milwaukee Brewers. The Arizona Diamondbacks would be in the West, joining Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco, and Colorado. Arizona had a decent inaugural season, winning 67 games, but they wanted more, much more than that. So we'll talk about their second season. In their fourth season in 2001, the puzzle was laid. The Diamondbacks made a major trade in July 2000, trading away Travis Lee to the Phillies for one Curt Schilling, pairing him up with Randy Johnson, who the Diamondbacks picked up in 1999. They had a great 1-2 pitching punch, and with some decent hitting and all that timely hitting from Tony Womack, of all people, the Diamondbacks got their way to the World Series, won games 1 and 2 on home turf. Then went to New York to face the Yankees. Lost games 3, 4, and 5 twice on walk-off hits. And the Diamondbacks were screwed. But thanks to a Game 6 job by Randy Johnson in a 15-2 game, we went to one of the most classic Game 7s ever. The 2001 Game 7 was one of the best ever as the Yankees and Diamondbacks battled to the end. Bottom of the ninth, the Yankees were up 2-1, but the Diamondbacks scored 2 runs, including that Luis Gonzalez floater over the infield that got the Diamondbacks their first World Series title in just their fourth year of existence and to ruin the Yankees' chance for a 5-peat. So anyway, the Diamondbacks would rely on Schilling and Johnson, but they both left for greener pastures. Schilling to Boston, Randy to New York. So the Diamondbacks struggled. And for a time, it felt like they were not that well placed. They had some good rebuilding years. And in 2023, they shocked everyone by going to the World Series against the Texas Rangers. They fell. But the fact of the matter was that the Diamondbacks are a very good franchise and should be lauded as such. Regardless of that, let's take a look at the 1999 Arizona Diamondbacks. So the Arizona Diamondbacks are our future, the 1999 team, the second season in Major League Baseball. They wanted to improve on their expansion team thing. Well, of course, expansion teams first year usually don't do well. So they shocked everyone by winning not just 100 games, but to win the NL West. They were the fastest expansion team to reach the playoffs, only in their second year. By contrast, the Marlins, who had the record, made the postseason in their fifth season. They would set a lot of records and all that. Of course, they fell in the LDS to the Mets, but Randy Johnson would win the Cy Young. So the Diamondbacks went big or gone home. They made a trade. They traded Ellen Embry out of Arizona to San Francisco for Dante Powell. Greg Swindell was picked up as a free agent to kind of replace him in the bullpen. And all of a sudden, Randy Johnson decided to sign with the Diamondbacks. He was a Seattle pitcher through and through, and then midway through the season, Seattle traded him to Houston so that he could have a pennant run. Houston failed in that attempt, and then Randy Johnson decided to go to Arizona. It was like shocking. Randy's first season with the club, he helped the Diamondbacks win the NL West. He put up a 2.48 ERA to lead the NL and led in strikeouts, complete games, and innings pitched in both leagues, like the major leagues, not just the National League. So he joined Gaylord Perry, who did it for Cleveland and San Diego, and Pedro Martinez for Boston and Montreal as one of only three pitchers to win Cy Youngs in both leagues. The opening day lineup was pretty good. Tony Batista was a decent hitter, but then he would blossom when he was traded to the Jays. Jay Bell, great player that Pittsburgh got rid of, and then he ended up on that roster. Andy Benes, a fine pitcher. Steve Finley, a very good center fielder for Houston and San Diego before he went to Arizona, and then he went on a good journey with Los Angeles. Luis Gonzalez, who Detroit and Houston dumped off, thinking he wasn't good enough, but he proved his mettle in Arizona. Travis Lee, a decent first baseman who was trade fodder to Philly for Kurt Schilling the next year. Damian Miller behind the plate. Matt Williams at third base, a great player from the Giants organization and Cleveland as well. And Tony Womack, a great base stealing threat from Pittsburgh, but now a Diamondback. Milo Overbay was drafted by Arizona in the 18th round of the draft. And then the Blue Jays made that big move. They traded Dan Plesac to Arizona to help them out for Tony Batista and John Frascatore. So Batista was sent to Toronto. The Diamondbacks would crush it with 100 wins, 14 games more than second place San Francisco. Against their opponents, they were 1-8 against Cincinnati, which was shocking. But they were great against Philly and 8-1 in Kurt Schilling's team. So anyway, as you look here, August, September, and October were just the dominant years. Well, they were 42-16 late. A big clip, and they looked good. Andy Benes, Omar Dahl, Darren Holmes, Randy Johnson, Byung Kim, a young Matt Manti, Greg Olson, Dan Plesac, Armando Reynoso, Todd Stoudemire was even on that team, and Greg Swindell. So they had good pitching. Batting wise, they had Rod Barajas, a catcher with Davey Miller and Kelly Stinnett. Tony Batista was on the team before he was traded. Jay Bell, Greg Colburn, a young Rubio Durazo, Travis Lee, and Matt Williams there. Outfielders Steve Finley, Bernard Gilkey, Louis Gonzalez, and Tony Womack, among others. Buck Showalter was the manager. So Matt Williams was at third base. Batista couldn't fit in because Matt Williams was blocking him. Anyway, pitching wise, Johnson, Dahl, Benz, Menes, Reynoso, and Stoudemire were the big five. Ryan Anderson also did well. Relief work, Manti and Olson shared the closer's role. In the NLDS, Game 1 was a disaster as Edgardo Alfonso in the top of the ninth hit a grand slam off of Arizona and to win Game 1. Arizona won Game 2 on home turf, but then got blown out 9-2 in Game 3. And then Game 4, Todd Pratt, of all people, hit a walk-off home run in the 10th inning to center field. He was Mike Piazza's replacement because Pizza was hurt. So somehow, some way, the Diamondbacks bubbled it. So what would have happened if the 99 Diamondbacks you know, got to the NLCS and played against Atlanta, would they have shocked the world by getting to the World Series in their second season? Let's see. All right, so here's how it would work. So the Diamondbacks would face the Braves in the NLCS should they have beaten the Mets, which they did. So assuming everything, Randy Johnson will be healthy and wise against Greg Maddux. I'm using Atlanta's LCS rotation in real life to determine who they would face. So Maddux was game one in real life. So Randy Johnson would have faced Greg Maddux in game one, which would have been amazing. And the score was not in Arizona's favor. They lose 4-2. Nothing doing till the top of the fourth when Matt Williams gets a ground ball force out. 1-0. And then Greg Maddux comes in after Weiss flew out and hits a home run to right center field. Of all people, Greg Maddux, Andrew Jones, and Brian Jordan strike out. Then in the bottom of the sixth, after Jones strikes out and Lopez grounds to second, it looks good for Randy. Klesko singles, and then Williams hits a single, and then Brett Boone, yes, he was an Atlanta Brave before he went to Seattle, crushed a 3-run tater tot to make it 4-1. John Rocker came in for the save, gave up a home run to Steve Finley to make it 4-2. And then Damon Miller strikes out, Travis Lee grounds out, and Randy Johnson is taken out of the game for Durazo for a pinch hitter. It's weird how they let Randy pitch the whole game. Maddox pitched 8 innings for the win, Rocker the save. Randy loses this one. So that was huge. Game 2 would see the emergence of Andy Bennett against Kevin Millwood. They went with Bennett, and it worked. Arizona wins 7-6. Chipper did get an RBI single score. Andrew Jones, no relation. And then Chipper hits a double to score Brian Jordan. Javi Lopez singled to make it 3-0. Well, Chipper scored. And then Brett Boone hits a double, which Javi scores. It's 4-0 Diamondbacks trailing. They're in trouble. Jay Bell hits a home run down the left field line. No big deal. David Miller goes deep, makes it 4-2. And you're thinking, oh, here we go. And then Steve Finley, after Lugo and Bell both singled and Williams struck out, hits a 3-run home run to left field, gone. 5-4. Steve Finley does his job. Brian Jordan did hit an RBI single to score Kevin Millwood, 5-5. It's weird how they would leave Millwood in the game. I would have yanked him. And then the Braves came up 6-5 when Greg Swindell came in to pitch. Bases were loaded for Walt Weiss, who hit a sac fly. Randall Simon gets a pinch hit. So Mike Remlinger came in at 6-5. Finley hit an RBI single to score Bell, and Davey Miller scored a single to score Matt Williams, 7-6. Bottom of the ninth, Manti came in for the save. Klesko grounds a single. Joe Williams strikes out. Brett Boone swings and misses. Then a wild pitch happened, so Klesko got to second, but Weiss grounded out. So Millwood in the end got left, I think, a little too early. Mike Remlinger came on and gave up those 2 runs. Kevin McGlinchey came in for the ninth. The Diamondbacks, Eddie Benz went 6 innings. Then Greg Swindell went 2/3. Then Greg Olson came in for an inning and a third, the former Baltimore closer. And then Manti came in for the save. So on to game 3 with Glavin on the bump. And he will face Reynoso. Armando Reynoso comes in for game 3. And the Braves go out of Arizona with a 7-4 win. Javi Lopez hits a home run to left center. Joe Williams singles to score Klesko. And then Chipper hits a home run to make it 3-0. Boone hits a 2 RBI double, and Walt Weiss scores Budo double. So John Frascatore comes in the pitch. He soon would be headed to Toronto with Tony Batista. So 6-0. It looked pretty good until the bottom of the 5th when Durazo came in to pinch hit for Bobby Schwinart and hits a single. Scores Steve Finley 6-1. Todd Stoudemire came in to pitch. And Javi Lopez hit an RBI single to score Chipper. Then Matt Williams hit a sac fly to make it 7-2. And then Jay Bell grounded out. Matt Williams flew out. Steve Finley hits a home run to center field, make it 7-3. McGlinchey came in to pitch. Damon Miller hit a home run to left. It was a safe situation, but they kept McGlinchey on, and Travis Lee popped out. Blue Jays, Reynoso 2 1/3 innings. Frascatore went an inning. Schwinart inning 2/3. Todd Steiner went 4 innings, and practically what could be a start. Glavin went 6. Then Mike Remlinger for 2 2/3, and then McGlinchey for an out. So 2-1. And then Smoltz came in for game 4. Anderson. And it is 5-3 Braves. Lugo with an RBI single at the bottom of the first. Ryan Klesko goes DP2 to make it 1-1. And then it stayed that way till the 6th when Javi Lopez gets an RBI ground out. And in the 8th, Greg Olson pitches. And Gerald Williams greets him with a 2 RBI double score, Chipper and Ryan. Chipper gets a single score, Andrew. 5-1. McClinchy pitches. Williams singles. See, Finley goes DP2, make it 5-3. Rocker comes in. Miller singled. Lee singled. DeLucci came in to pinch hit for Nunez and strikes out. Womack singles. Bases were loaded. Andy Fox flew out. Shallow. And Lugo strikes out. Brian Anderson went 6th. Wendell the 7th. Olsen the 8th. And Nunez the 9th. Smoltz 7 innings. Then Remlinger. McClinchy came in and gave up those 2 runs and John Rocker save. So it's 3-1, right? Yeah, 3-1. Randy Johnson's coming in. Now remember, Schilling was 1 year away. Game 5 sees the end of the Diamondbacks. Braves win 11-3 and would have gone to the World Series and get crushed by the Yankees. So the Diamondbacks were just not ready for prime time. Gerald Williams hit a 3-run tater tot in the 4th. Luis Gonzalez home run to make it 3-1. And then Lugo singles to score Randy Johnson to make it 3-2. Javi Lopez would go deep and Ryan Klesko as well. So they went back-to-back Apple Jackson the 6th. And then in the 8th, Brett Boone hit a 2 RBI single to score Jordan and Jones. Well, Chipper. Frascatore came in to pitch. Got the out. Jay Bell hits a single. RBI single. Then Rhino Simon came in. Oh, Javi Lopez gets a 2 RBI double. Scored Andrew and Jordan. Schwannart pitches. Klesko singles to score Lopez. And Joe Williams hits a double score Klesko. 11-3. Justin Spire came in to pitch. And he got the last out. Randy lasted 7 2/3 with 7 runs. Like, Randy would not come out. Randy. Frascatore sucked. Schwannart sucked. The Braves, Maddox for 7, Remlinger, and then Spires. So the Atlanta Braves would have taken care of business with Arizona and making them ashamed of having a name like mine. I'm the real Diamondback because my name is Jeff Cutter Diamond, and you're not. Anyhow, I'm Jeff Diamond for sure. I did.